Well, the new season is finally here, and we are going to be taking a look at all of the events today. We're also going to be doing Battle Abyss. I will just have this running in the background at times, or maybe I'll just put it at the end, we'll see. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Alright, so let's start off this video by taking a look at the season talents. And yes, long range warfare is of course back. So one thing that's important to note when you go in to do your season talents is the rules. You have to put 10 talent points into the first tree that you select before you can put any into any additional talent trees. And you can only get 15 total points. So that's pretty important to note. So if you go into one tree, you have to spend at least 10 there, and that'll leave you only with 5 for other trees. Also, you can only reset your talents once every 40 days. It's really unfortunate that this hasn't changed since when seasons were longer. So you can reset your talents basically once during the season, and that's it. So if you wanted, you can grab like some farming talents for the first few days of the season, but Zone 2 is going to be opening pretty quickly, so I would just skip on this, and then maybe you grab it like at the very end of the season to get the one extra warrant for a few days. But honestly, there's such little you can do here. I don't really think it's worth considering. The only exception is if you don't have your tier 5 yet, you can get this talent here, which reduces the Darkling Fort cost by 10, and this is really nice to just grind out some forts at the end of the season, especially when you pair this with the CP recovery speed bonus. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be showing you what talents I'm going to use. The choices between engineering with ranged units and weekly merit retention. The weekly merit retention, I feel like it's so useless. We're going to be having pretty constant fighting, so I don't think that I need this. I might end up regretting this, but I'm going to be going with the engineering for ranged units. I think this is just going to be beneficial for when we're doing like a lot of demolition, if that ever comes to happen. If we're doing demolition with like a bunch of different troops at the same time, say there's like 6 flags that are just somewhere trying to stop us, I think that'll be good. We're just in a situation this season where we should be able to max out our merit store every single week. So we're going to be going with engineering from ranged units, since this is the only one that's going to give us any value potentially. And it does give you the warning here: note you've chosen battle acuity as your primary talent branch. You must spend at least 10 talent points in this branch before you can activate talents in another branch. Confirmed. And then after this, we will be going with Gale Step, because March Speed is important, and then Hearts is 1, and then Arcane Hindrance. The reason why we are not going for long range warfare is that I did get rid of basically all of my archers. So yeah, we have like no tier 5 archers left. We're just all in on Mange Gang. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and go for that tree like that. And we are also going to pick up Cloud Piercer, and we are going to pick up Prayer of Light and logistical support. Now there is another option that I might consider here, and that is that instead of getting this defense break here, I might consider going for 100,000 extra merits per week and the 1% extra attack here. But I feel like inflicting the defense break is probably going to be better, especially since some of our heroes care about inflicting debuffs, so I think that makes sense. We are kind of forced to get the 5% resource healing cost reduction here, just because, you know, we don't want to waste our resources. Otherwise, if we didn't care about this, we could go and get the 3% more normal attack damage here, which is pretty cool. So we could go with this talent, this talent, this talent, and this talent. And that would bring us up to 5 talent points used, which would be paired well with this. But yeah, I think we do want to take logistical support. But if you don't care about wasting like a little bit of mana, this is probably going to come out to like 80 million mana or something like that this season. Then yeah, you could go for this here. You know, now that I've said that out loud, it's definitely less than 80 billion mana. I might have to think about this. So, well, I'll just overlay this here. There's this option here where you go for the cheaper resource healing, which is probably what makes sense. And then there is also this option here where you go for 4% more attack damage. Well, 1% more damage dealt and 3% more attack damage. I guess this is also only normal attacks. I'm not sure. Maybe that's makes it less worthwhile. This talent here, why it's highlighted in both, is that this is probably the most important talent to take of anything in this entire list of talents, except for, I guess, long-range warfare. But yeah, returning to your city 100% faster is just super important because you gotta get your marchers back in the field as soon as possible. Now, if you're an archer player, you're probably going to want to run just the same tree as I mentioned there, except for you're going to swap for long-range warfare instead of arcane hindrance, which, you know, makes sense. And now you can take a look at the field morale tree if you want. I just don't think that the Exemplar buff is really that good. It's 10% attack, which is nice, but it's for a limited number of troops. It only lasts 25% of the time. So if you round this down, you're going to be getting like a 2.5% attack buff overall. This would be nice for like staff plays, I guess. And if you're, I don't know, doing something like a specific push, you know, like you're saving up for a bit and then doing the push, maybe this is good to take. But compared to this over here, where you just get, if you're running 5 ranged marches, you constantly are getting 6% attack compared to 25% of the time getting 10% attack. This one over here, Hearts' one, definitely outweighs the Exemplar benefits. If there was a buff here that gave you like more attack percentage, I think it would be worth it. Or if it reduced the cooldown, maybe it would be worth it. But as is, I don't think the Exemplar tree really makes much sense, with the exception of if you are like a really low spend tier 4 and you're like only running 2 marches or something, or 3 marches. Basically, if you're not running 5 range marches, you can get some value from this in your tier 4. You would want to go for probably, I guess, 10% more merits, because you're going to be struggling to get merits. And then Burning Rage, and then Exemplar, and then this talent here to give 5 more legions the Exemplar buff. And then if you want to go for army groups, you have to go down the mass warfare tree, select Together for Glory, and you are technically able to select both of these, but that would eat up 14 of your 15 possible points, and then you would only have 1 talent point left, which sounds crazy. So I guess you can take this here. So you could go with something like Prayer of Lights, probably Hack and Slash, Together for Glory, both of these, and then 5% more counterattack damage here. But I don't know, that sounds like a crazy tree to me. I guess maybe if you're all in on the army group thing, though, you could do that, but then you might be missing logistical support, which is pretty bad. So probably what's best is to just pick Unyielding Army or Thundering Stampede, and then you can take this, and then you will have 3 talent points left over. So you can probably go ahead and grab Furious Counterattack and Burning Rage, or you can grab one of these 2 skills and the additional 10% march speed here. If you're a cavalry main, you're like obviously going to want this, but I guess that would just become up to you. I have no experience with using army groups really, so yeah, I'll let you make your own informed decision. And if you don't like the talents that you do end up choosing, of course, you can reset it, but you can only reset it once during the season, so do keep that in mind. So next, let's go ahead and take a look at the season policies. The policies are pretty straightforward this season. You just go ahead and work your way through until you get to your first choice here, which is Opportunist or Easy Does It. I think Easy Does It makes a lot of sense to take, unless you're like hyperactive, with gathering your resources. I'm probably going to get this on my farm accounts too, just grind out enough prestige in order to get there. The problem with Opportunist is its cap. Its cap is 15 million resources of each type, which is just laughably low. So if you take this, you're getting like no value for the majority of the season, even if you're a cavalry farm killer. So yeah, I think pretty much everybody should go for easy does it. Then moving on, you get to choose between countering infantry and countering cavalry. Probably everyone should go for countering infantry here. Maybe unless you're fighting against Echo, then you might want to go for countering cavalry, you know. But yeah, for me, I'm going to be going against countering infantry. And then here we have counter marksman and counter magic. Counter marksman, one thing too about counter cavalry is if you're a cavalry player, then you should go for counter cavalry because you're going to get into some cav versus cav fights. So that's going to be really helpful for that. But for the majority of people, like if you're not cav main, if you're doing like mages, infantry, or archers, then you go for counter infantry most likely. And then we have counter marksman or counter magic. I'm going to be going for counter magic just because more people run mages. You could go for counter marksman too. Honestly, I wouldn't hate it to just like flip a coin here and then just based on randomness pick which one I'm going to go for, because you're going to get value regardless of which way you go. Just remember when you do select something, so for me I'm going to be selecting counter magic, that means that I am going to want to target mage heroes when we're fighting, that way I deal 5% additional damage. So next on the tree we have apothecary upgrade and healthcare reforms. So apothecary upgrade increases your capacity by up to 150%. This gives you 25 hours of capacity, which I think is just a little bit much. And then healthcare reforms gives you up to 2.5% elixir production speed. What this will do is for every 4 million tier 5 troops you gain 100,000 extra daily elixir production, and for every 6.7 million tier 4 troops you gain also 100,000 daily elixir production. There is a discrimination between tier 5 and tier 6 troops. It's 0.6 for a tier 4 to 1 value for a tier 5, and with the later policies we'll also cover that. Now down here with medical administration or daily resource healing, because the amount of stockpile days here is 2, I think that it might be worth taking medical administration as compared to increasing your daily resource healing by a percentage of total legions. I think that this probably makes sense. Here you're going to be gaining 100,000, yeah, so it would be 100,000 daily resource healing per every like 1.3 million tier 5s or every 2 million tier 4s, roughly something like that. But I think that I would prefer instead of that to have the daily stockpile days. Last season, even in our peak fighting, I went through like half a stockpile day or something, or 1 stockpile day. But unless you're doing like a ton of resource healing, I don't think you're going to end up going through all this. And by a ton, I probably mean like 50 million, 60 million resource healing in a season, something like that. So yeah, I'm going to be going with stockpile days. And then we get the choice between benevolence, reprieve, and diligence. Pretty much everybody should be taking diligence. Because of the stamina limit bonus, you kind of have to do it. That and the healing cost is really good as well. One thing to keep in mind is that there is a 20 million hospital limit, so if you're like a super whale, then you have to just be mindful of that. You can only put 20 million troops in the hospital before you have to start healing. And then the elixir capacity limit here at reprieve is nice. If you just want to take things a little bit more casually, this gives you 20 hours of capacity. It still reduces the healing cost by 10% and gives you 20,000 extra daily elixir production. So you should probably be picking between one of these two. Benevolence is just kind of useless. The only benefit here is you get an extra 30,000 production per day, but I don't think that anybody should be taking this even if you're like super low spend. I think you're going to be getting more value either from the stamina limit bonus if you're just constantly refreshing 1 march, or from the extra 100% capacity compared to 20,000 elixir per day. Alright, now let's move on. Go to the next area here where we can choose between Medical Supplies 2 and Healthcare Reforms 2. Medical Supplies 2 gives you 100,000 daily elixir production, and Medical Reforms or Healthcare Reforms 2, yes, gives you 5.5% elixir production speed. So if you have over 1.82 million tier 5, so 1,820,000 tier 5s or more, you should take Healthcare Reforms 2. Or if you have 3.1 million tier 4s or more, you should take Healthcare Reforms 2. This just is going to give you more than 100,000 daily elixir production, if that is the case. And if we take a look at my legion count, you will see that I have about 5 million troops, some of which are tier 5. So yes, I'm definitely going to be going with the latter of those two options. Go ahead and go back into the policies. Next we have Medic Recruitment 2 or Medical Seminars 2. Further increase daily resource healing at your hospital up to 400,000, or Medical Seminars 2, which is daily resource healing by 15%. So if you have over 2.7 million tier 5s, or if you have over 4.45 million tier 4s, you are going to want to go for Medical Seminars 2. So since I fall into that latter camp, I will be going for this one. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the last choice here, which is for the army group related policies. So we have one for infantry army groups, cavalry army groups, and one for you to take if you're not going to be creating army groups, or when you're just not in one in general. So it's important to take this if you decided earlier when we looked at the talents that you weren't going to go for the army group talents. And again, notice that these only count if you are the leader of the army group. If you are joining army groups only, you don't need to have one of these selected. And then the rest of the policies here, you don't have a choice. You can just go for all of them. Bitter End, as per usual, is 5% more damage and 2% deads of sevs if both sides have it enabled. So yeah, just go ahead and work through your policy tree. I'm going to be working through this as quickly as possible, and I will be gemming some policies once I get to probably around here is where I'll start gemming. Just that way I can get into military expansion 2 as quickly as possible. I'll probably gem anything that's like over 8 hours, I think. That's probably reasonable. Just as long as I have enough prestige to actually afford to like constantly have something running, you know? One thing when you're killing Darklings is you want to take a look at your personal stuff here. For the policies, you see if I kill another 30 Darklings, which I'll be able to do tomorrow, I'll get an extra 1,000 CP. So yeah, it's important to keep stuff like that in mind for when you do go in to gain your prestige for actually leveling up all this stuff. Anyways, now let's go ahead and take a look at all of the events that are in the game. So first up, and most importantly, we have the Wheel of Destiny event. The Wheel of Destiny is back. You are able to select any 4 heroes that you would like. You are also able to select Bahorn. You don't have to have him unlocked in order to be able to do this, but unfortunately you cannot select Mu Xiang unless you have her unlocked. If you do have Mu Xiang unlocked, then you would be able to select her, but you can see here that I do not have the option. So that's really unfortunate, and that's probably going to be added to the video that I will eventually be making whenever I get around to it, about free-to-play is just kind of getting shafted. Anyways, what I'm going to be doing is just buying up these tickets here. As you can see, I already had 63 and now I have 83. As a free-to-play player, it's very important to buy your Wheel of Destiny tickets every season and save up until you have 100. That way you can put 4 heroes that you want onto the wheel. So for example, right now for me, that would be probably Goresh, Tobin, Sybil, and I guess this new guy who I think is from the Strongest Lord. And yeah, that's what I would be going for, but since I'm not actually going to be doing my spins here, I won't confirm it, but in 2 seasons I will be doing the Wheel of Destiny again once the Generation 4 mages come out, and that should be a ton of fun. We do have some other events here too. We have the Riches of the Forest. This event though typically is not very high value, so unless you're like a super whale, I would not recommend going for this event. We have Time to Act, so if you're hoarding speed ups and you want to capitalize on people just having spent a bunch of their speed ups on the brink of war, now would be a decent time to do it and maybe pick up some gold heads. We have the Cosmic Interchange event, which got buffed. This is awesome. And let me go ahead and do some math real quick. And so they did buff this event. Instead of being able to just exchange 100 items of each type like before, you're now able to exchange 300 items of each type, which is pretty cool. So what this means is that you're able to exchange, if you count up until the 1 hour tier, which I think is fair because not very many people are going to have hundreds of these. So if you just count that, you're going to get 20 days of speed ups if you max exchange all of these. As you can see though, I don't have enough 10-minute speed ups to do this. So yeah, that's pretty dang cool. I think 10-minute speed ups, those probably come from Darkling forts or something, eh? So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I might have to try to hunt down a way to get some more 10-minute speed ups. That way I can get some more value from this here next time it comes around. But yeah, that's a pretty healthy amount of speed ups we just gained. We gained, let's see here, if you subtract 1,000 minutes, I gained 18 days of speed ups instead of 19 days, which would have been the cap. And we'll also just go ahead and collect this as well, and you can see we don't have very many of these. And yeah, that's it for the events. So yeah, we also have Battle Abyss here, which I guess I didn't include in that little bit. I already did my fighting here. You can see I got 411,000 merits, which I think is pretty good. I mean, it doesn't put me on the rankings. It actually almost does, which is crazy. I don't know if this is single attempts. I guess this is probably single attempts, not combined. Because if that was combined, that'd be crazy that I almost got on the leaderboard. But anyways, yeah, 411,000 merits done, and I will have to participate in another one just so that I can get this here, but that won't be in a video. Anyways, hopefully you enjoy this Battle Abyss footage that's coming up here. If you decide not to watch it, that's alright, and yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Alright, now is when we're going to start fighting pretty soon, so we're going for this one in the middle here. I don't know why he fell back. I guess he's playing with the other cavalry players over here, trying to match them. I really wish he would have pulled this back though, as a as a cav guy. That's your job, is to get aggro and then to pull it back. That's what I'm doing here, because I hit it first, so I can go ahead and pull back. This way very few of them, if any, will get the buff. That courageous rough could have been bad, but I don't think it's actually able to push it back. So we're going to be ready for these cavalry to come down on top of us. We got to be ready to target them down as soon as they start marching in. There's also an infantry march there. It looks like one guy is already targeting them. So okay, let's hit the Emrys here. Target the Emrys down first. Good, it's dead. And now we can target the Nika. We're also going to want to use our artifacts on these archers here and the mages and everything. This guy is just full suing his marches, so we'll go ahead and eat those up for the merits. Okay, and then pull back. We're gonna have some infantry coming in on the left, so let's pull back some more. How are we doing on top side? Okay, we have a couple of calves rotating far right. That's okay. We're getting targeted here because everybody's retreating. That's fine. We're going to keep retreating as well. Retreating here, it just makes sense because they're coming from several different angles. Some of our guys, especially our infantry, is going to refresh here though. So yeah, we can go ahead and get that help. And now we will be turning and just targeting down their infantry. Shouldn't take too long here. One's dead already, the Nika. Now we're targeting the Goresh. And okay, the Madeline also died. Okay, let's hit the Danfell next. We do want to micro back here. We don't want to get targeted. We're just trying to play as efficiently as possible. One thing that I am going to be doing this season, I'm not sure if I would have already mentioned this or not, probably I have, is that I will be gemming more of my policies this season, just because we're going to be having fighting in our second zone that's meaningful. So yeah, I want to be more battle ready than I have been in previous seasons, because before I haven't spent any gems on policies, and then you just get no free healing at the start, and it's pretty rough. So yeah, we gotta work on that as much as we can for sure. So they are really pulling this lizard back. That's well played by them. It actually reset. They pulled it so far back, so they're not going to be able to get the buff from it. We'll go ahead and keep pushing up, just hitting these DPS marches. And then we're going to turn around and hopefully get the buff from this lizard. Yes, looks like we do get it in time. Or we do target it in time at least. There we go. I almost walked out of range though, that would have been bad. Now we have 4 buffs. We have 1 speed buff, 3 damage buffs. So that's good. Looks like one of our cav players there loops around and was harassing them, so that's kind of funny. Okay, so just target their mages. Again, they're pulling that lizard a little bit too far backwards, I think. I'm not sure if they're... Yeah, it might reset here. We got some infantry targeting us, it looks like, so we'll pull back. Yeah, and the lizard did reset because they pulled it too far. They keep doing that, which is pretty funny, at least in my opinion. Okay, keep pulling back. We just want to target this Madeline. Unfortunately, like one of our marches there was really far forward. It looks like it's our mag rat, so we'll like manually try to slow down our mag rat a little bit. Sometimes they just the marches get out of the stack, which is fine, but we do want to keep them on top of each other as much as possible. Just that way we don't have one like sticking too far forward. Those hero icons were really blurry. That was kind of funny. That just happens sometimes, I guess, though, with the graphics. Okay, we got our artifacts already, so we want to get in here if possible. Let's throw our elegy manually, just try to trap some people in. And if we can get our Gigantus down too, we can. That's awesome. We got a couple of people targeting us, so we'll pull back a little bit here. Okay, actually now we have 17 people targeting us, so let's just full retreat. We don't want to be too aggro. We're good to take this slow here. We are wasting a lot of the value from our Gigantus, but that's okay. Yeah, it looks like everybody on our team here is full retreating, so I guess we'll go ahead and retreat as well. It's all about our trade ratio, right? So we don't mind if we are not fighting a bunch. I mean, right now we've barely taken any damage and we got 50,000 merits, so that's pretty damn good. We're just going to keep retreating. We're retreating with our allies here. I imagine some of them are going to go heal, and then we can turn around and continue fighting. What's this up here? Those are some cavalry marches. Okay, they're waiting to try to pick some of us off probably. Let's go ahead and hit this Madeline. Now that Madeline is out of range of the DPS, the red DPS that is. Also have some of our mage players here, like this chillin' free guy. Looks like he was like body blocking, intentionally or not, I don't know, but he was. So yeah, we're able to kill the Madeline. Now we have one of our Goresh's refreshed. That's awesome. So we can go ahead and go in and target. Get as much value as we can here. And the reason why we're doing this is that we want to get the regeneration potions. I don't really need the experience tomes. I don't really need the legendary medals either. But getting 120,000 merits for the regeneration potions is pretty good. Okay, we have some infantry and cavalry coming in on top. We can go ahead and focus that. Hit the Nika first. Nika Garwood's kind of funny. We're also going to have some people coming on the left too, which is scary. And these calves on the right, which I didn't even notice. They really bided their time there and went in a good time, so good for them. Okay, kill the Danfell. We want to get that stack off of him if we can. And he's dead. Okay, retreat. Looks like a couple of our marches got a stack. Our wall deer, though, is getting cooked. That's unfortunate. Yeah, our wall deer is going to die. It just got perma-slowed there. It got hit by like a bunch of Velens and wasn't able to recover. Okay, that's unlucky. Let's turn on this Goresh. Okay, let's get these guys all in a control group again. Turn on the Goresh. So yeah, we're going to get a bunch more sevs because our wall deer got targeted down. That's just because we weren't retreating enough. Since we're right here by the starting zone as well, I guess we might as well dip in here real quick and heal up all of our marches. And there we go. It doesn't take very long to heal. I think it's like 20 or 30,000 per second. So yeah, you just dip in there for a couple of seconds and you're good to go back out. We have so much health left that our Indus is still over 300,000, so that's pretty cool. These guys are almost pushing us all the way back to, or they are actually pushing us all the way back to our starting zone. So that's not good. They just have a lot more people on our team, which is how this is happening. Kind of sucks. Alright. Go ahead and kill the Hosk. Target some mages. Eventually they will end up losing this fight just because we have so much free healing here. But yeah, they have a lot more people for sure. Okay. Yeah, this C player is Sending in a lot of infantry marches, appreciate that for sure. Okay, I feel like this mode would also be more interesting if there was like a reward, an additional reward for getting the most merits. Like maybe your allies gain like 1.3x the amount or something. Maybe 1.5x, just to encourage people to, I guess, play for the win, as opposed to like what I'm doing is kind of silly, just, you know, running all these mage marches. I feel like, you know, if you're playing for the win, you'd be doing more like control moves with like blink infantry and stuff. Even though it's not good for you personally, it's good for your allies' overall result. Okay. Go ahead and target down Jinjin's infantry, or mages, sorry, not infantry. And yeah, it took a while, but we did eventually turn them around. Okay, and then we'll just keep going to the left. And yeah, we'll just target these guys down, chase them down. If I was playing smarter, I probably would have turned around there to dip into the healing zone again for a second. But I have like maybe 20,000 lightly wounds on all my marches, so it's not going to make a giant deal or a giant difference, so we should be okay. Yeah, we're going to continue to just target whatever mage march they have on their backline, or archer march in this case, with the Megze here. That one's archers against Tel, because there's the one troop icon. That is a Wilderberg spearman, or whatever that's called. We're doing pretty good here though on Maris. We had enough to buy out all the regeneration potions. All that takes is 120,000 merits, so happy with that for sure. I think that what I'm going to do is, in between this Battle Abyss and the next Battle Abyss, I will plan what I'm going to do for the video, and then after the next Battle Abyss, I'll record it. I think that probably makes sense. Okay, let's continue to target down the Madeline. Bye-bye, Mimir. It's taking a while to kill this guy, though, dang. He's eating up a lot of stuff. He ate up all the artifacts, too. Which kind of sucks for us, not getting much value from the artifacts, but it's okay. It's not really worth the mental brain power, I don't think, to micro all this stuff, you know? Alright. Yeah, just keep targeting him down. Boom, boom, boom. Shout out our infantry players for blocking all these guys in. It's awesome work. I wonder, is that, I noticed it earlier, is that Renegade the Renegade that I know, or no? We're also second in merits, and no, it's not the Renegade that I know, okay. Being second in merits here is pretty crazy. Did not expect that. I guess we just don't have very many, like, whales in this, event here, this Battle Abyss. I'll take it. We're going to push up and target this DPS since they're targeted on our infantry. And then now that our infantry's dead, we'll pull back. Target their infantry instead. Yeah, our infantry is about to die too. So that's pretty bad for us. Okay, fall back a bit. Okay. Yeah, getting targeted by a lot of people now, so now I think we just run. Oh, we're gonna get cut off here. Yeah, we're gonna get cut off. Our Thunderlin is dead, unfortunately. It ended up getting slowed. I guess our Thunderlin might not be dead, huh? We'll see. Okay, we're like all the way on the edge here, so now I'll go a little bit to the right. He's really trying his best to block us. I think we can go underneath him here. Yeah, we can, just barely. Okay, we'll turn and kill him now. Skogul dies pretty fast. There we go, he's dead. Now we can turn on these infantry marches here. And just try to get as much damage in as we can. Okay, unfortunately our Gigantus auto-casted. I would have liked to have casted it on the DPS instead, but this is okay. We're going to target the DPS. It looks like my tier of Arbonne wasn't going off this whole time as well. That's unfortunate. I don't know why my tier of Arbonne is always like off autocast. It's kind of painful. Look at this Sir Ghost guy with double 9 stacks. That's crazy. Is he number 1? No, he isn't somehow. But it looks like we're going to get number 2, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this was a pretty good Battle Abyss. Definitely happy about it. Alright. Yeah, look at that. Number 2. Cool. Number 1 on our team as well. 230,000 merits gained. Let's go. That's big. I got Marathon Runner, not MVP. That's interesting. I guess MVP because they're on the other team. Oh, wait, no, they were on our team. That's my bad. Look at this C guy. Absolute Chad with the infantry. That's awesome to see. Let's see what marches are they using. They're using Bahorn Thea. That's got 47,000 merits. That's pretty big. Alright. Well, that's pretty cool. Scroll down, look at everybody else. You can see some people like not even sending out their marches. They might have some issues or like bugs or stuff. A lot of people in like the really young servers too, which is interesting. Okay. Yeah, no whales in this though. So that's why we got second. Alright, go ahead and take a screenshot of that, post in the Discord. And yeah, alright. See you guys in the next Battle Abyss. Or yeah, I think, yeah. See you in the next Battle Abyss. Well, actually, we can take a look at how many sevs we got. We got... Oh, I guess this doesn't count it, does it? That doesn't count it. We got 228,000 sevs. Yeah, 229,000 sevs. 230,000 sevs, I guess. For 130,000 merits. Or, wait, no, it was actually 230,000 merits, wasn't it? Yeah, eh? Yeah, it was 230,000 merits. Awesome. Alright, 1-to-1 trade ratio. Sick. Good stuff. Yeah, see you guys in the next Battle Abyss. Alright, here we go. We're getting into our second match. Our cavalry player here knows what he's doing. He's leading the lizard back to us. Now, hopefully he doesn't pull it too far because we don't want it to reset. But yeah, this is a pretty good position for it, and most of us will get the buff, and only like a couple of them will get the buff, if hit that. Awesome. So we got the buff. Now we're going to be going in, and guess what? We're targeting a Goresh Skogul. It looks like there's 3 Goresh Skoguls here. Oh no, that's the Emrys, so we'll target that first. Yeah, definitely kill the Emrys. Hit the Danfell next, just because it's a little bit squishier than the Goresh Skogul. We're going to want to pay attention to our marches. Gonna hit this Goresh on the side here, just because that's going to be a little bit annoying if we have to fall back, so we're going to want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. And okay, looks like we got 3 marches. Well, that one's about to be dead. So yeah, we got 3 real infantry marches left here at the front. Also that one that was like 1 HP got pushed back, so that's kind of funny. Okay, let's go ahead and kill the Danfell, and then once that's dead, target this new Danfell on the front line. Shout out Terry Foster for yeah, helping with that march there, the infantry march. I think they're the one that pushed the Goresh Skogul back into the ball, which was pretty funny. Okay, that Goresh is now dead, so we can go ahead and walk up. And we still have a couple of infantry marches here, so we are going to do our best to target down the DPS. Go ahead and hit Mr. Toes there. Okay, you're dead. Toes had some DPS marches and an infantry march, so we'll go ahead and target all that. Hit the Goresh Skogul next. Alright. Yeah, a lot of infantry here on the field. I'm speaking of infantry, I'm looking forward to seeing what the G4 infantry is looking like, because I need to know if I'm investing in G4 infantry or if I'm going back and investing in Goresh Skogul. I'm not really sure, but I will have to choose one, eventually at least. But I'm waiting until G4 infantry comes out to make my choice, and then we'll see which one of those ends up looking best. And yeah, that's just because there's a lot of situations where you need an infantry march, and right now I'm rocking 511 Madeline Garwood, and that's just not great. We're also going to have a pretty good number of tokens by the time G4 mages come out anyways, since we have all of our universals saved still. So we can afford to invest in a infantry march, and hopefully that'll do well. Next season is when that G4 infantry is going to be coming out. Something I need to consider with that too is my Bahorn. Right now I am investing in Bahorn, and that is just because why not? I just want to have his first skill maxed in case I decide to use him. It's not very many tokens to do that. It's like 30 or something, 35 if you count the 10 tokens you get from the gifting. I think it's 45 without that. So yeah, I don't mind spending just a little bit. Okay, let's target this infantry that got pretty close here. Again, just when infantry gets close like this, you want to get it dead just in case, because it might be able to mess with you if you don't target it down quickly. There we go. And then retarget onto the Danfels up here. They're feeding us a lot of infantry right off the bat, though. They got more infantry than the guys did last Battle Abyss here, I think. I'm also just now noticing that my audio is turned off for Call of Dragons, just because I haven't been making videos lately and I prefer it off for myself, but I guess I'll turn the audio back on for the recording of like going through the policies and stuff. That way there's a little bit of sound effects. That seems preferable for viewing. But yeah, when I'm just, I'm playing like this, or the last couple of weeks I've just been listening to music or watching a podcast or something while playing. So having the audio off is better for that. Yeah, another lizard emerged there. We're just going to ignore that. Continue to focus on the fighting. We still only have our default stacks 2-1. Oh, we just walked way too far forward, so we got to retreat here. Not even sure what happened there. I think we misclicked and like dragged onto the open space instead of dragging onto some infantry. Looks like a lot of people are retreating here too, so just to go a little bit further back. Go ahead and zoom out. You can see that, yeah, a lot of people did retreat. Our Waldir also got targeted quite a bit there, so that's unfortunate for him. Seems like every game of, both games at least here, our Waldir's getting killed first. Poor guy. Look at this guy. He has 8 and 3 stacks. That's crazy. I don't know how he has so many stacks. It's honestly insane. Okay, let's kill this Danfel as quickly as possible. There we go. It's dead. Now go back up, target DPS. We will have our artifacts coming off cooldown here too in a second, so that's good. Just gotta build up some rage on them and then get them casted down. We're gonna manually cast our Gigantus here if we can. Don't even really get much value from it. I think we hit like 2 people. That's unfortunate. We just weren't far enough forward. That's okay though. It's not a huge deal here, just fighting in Battle Abyss for some fun merits. And we don't even need these merits, honestly. We already have enough to buy what we need, but we are going to keep going because, yeah, why not? We should be able to full heal by the time we get into fighting anyway, so this should be fine. As allows us to buy out the 100% priced legendary medals too, which I guess we'll go ahead and do after this. Okay. Yeah, so this will just be like a 20-minute part of PvP at the end of the video, I guess. That way, the video is a little bit longer. I haven't been uploading recently because I've just been a bit bummed out. I might have mentioned this earlier in the video too, and we're going over the Wheel of Destiny. But I don't know, like the Exemplar system being released is just so ridiculous, requiring 2,000 forge key pulls. So that kind of got me a bit sour. Yeah, I tried to record a video about it like 4 times. I recorded the most recent one like 2 days ago when I was doing the Bahorn wheel spins. So I think that I'm going to edit into a video, but it just sucks. I don't know. A lot of things have been changing in the game recently that are extremely negative towards free-to-play. That I get making some sort of gate to getting the Exemplar artifacts, but 2,000 artifact keys just take such an absurd amount of time. As a super active free-to-play in like one of the highest spending alliances in the game, not even talking about myself, but like other free-to-plays, it would probably take like 3.5 years, like best case scenario, to get 2,000 artifact keys, which is just crazy. Because obviously you can't spend 100% of your gems on the Forge of Light, but I don't know, it's just like that number, 3.5 years just to unlock something, not to even guaranteed get anything good. It just seems absurd. It just opens up this new gap. Like, whales are already going to have higher level artifacts, and they're already going to have higher level heroes. You really need to give them 3 more buff stats on every artifact too. Like, come on, man. It's yeah, I just didn't feel good about it. So yeah, I've been stewing in that a bit. I've been playing a couple of other games as well, just not trying to think about Call of Dragons too much, but we are going to be getting back into it for this season, because the game is still fun, even though it is getting worse for free-to-play for sure. You know, I hope that they change their mind with the Exemplar system, but there was feedback with hundreds of upvotes, like several of them in the suggestions channel, and normally when there's something like that they respond, and this time they didn't. So that kind of makes me think that they just don't care, so they probably won't change it. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. It's rough for sure. Anyways, we've pushed these guys like all the way to their starting zone, so that's a bit excessive. We'll go ahead and pull back, I guess. We can also target this lizard too and get an extra buff stack. Why not? Oh, we don't want to get caught out though, so let's keep marching, and then we'll turn on it at the last second. So we don't want to be at the end of the back there, like the back of it, and then get targeted by these guys that are coming here. Okay, we'll go ahead and hit it now. Get an extra stack. Our Burt Tohar actually has 6 damage stacks. That's pretty cool. I guess we'll keep retreating. We're in like a full retreat here. I guess we're waiting for infantry to come back up. Oh, I did not mean to hit that lizard. Luckily someone else hit it from below, so it's gonna not pay attention to us. We're just full running. This is so funny. Do we have infantry coming? There's 1 infantry in our ball. There's 1 infantry here too. Okay, look at that. Okay, we got 1 infantry here. The Ripper is holding them back. So now we can go turn and fight here. That's good. They get targeted by 5 marches there for a second, but they decided to stop. Okay, we're going to keep targeting this infantry. We'll swap to the Lizard last second as well. Get these artifact casts off on the infantry. And we'll swap to the Lizard now. Go ahead and kill that. Get another stack. Now we got 7 stacks on our Burt Tohar, 4 on the rest. And yeah, we got 2 minutes left of this fight. And we're doing pretty good. We're probably not going to get as many merits as last time. But that's okay. We don't really need that many merits. I think 230,000 is more than enough, honestly. We should be able to buy out everything in the shop here. Maybe not all of the full price experience books, but I guess we'll go ahead and see. The merit shop also doesn't... Well, actually it does reset. The merit cap, at least, like the 100,000 merits does reset before the merit shop opens, so that's unfortunate. So I guess we will spend down to 100k. Okay, let's just target all these guys. We also have, like, I guess 2 more windows where we could do Battle Abyss, so if I wanted to buy the experience books, I guess I kind of could. I would just have to be up, 7 hours from now. Or, well, is it just 7 hours from now? I guess it is, huh? No, it's 7 hours from now or 15 hours from now. I guess I would be up 15 hours from now, most likely. I don't know. Anyways, we're getting towards the end of this here. We're just targeting anything we can. I guess we'll hit the DPS behind this guy's infantry here, since that's more merits than killing the infantry. Wow, that felon died so fast. This Alex guy's calves. Poor mages. Wow, they just got shredded. Yeah, calves are pretty OP, especially when you're running 5 of them. And you're playing like this guy, you're poking in and out. That's how you're going to get more merits for sure. Alright, just about over here. 15 seconds left. Okay, we'll go ahead and pull back a little bit. We don't want to get absolutely crushed right at the end like we've had happen before. Okay, now here, 4 seconds left. Now we just full send, target whatever we can, and it's over. Okay, 181,000 that time. Go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. We got 9th. We're happy with that. Again, Thundel and Thalea is just so bad. It's sad that my Indus Tara is almost getting as many merits as my Thundel and Thalea. It's ridiculous. Alright, let's go ahead and scroll through the ranks here, just in case you're curious of who was in here. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and exit now and spend those merits that we gained. So yeah, we gained 412,000 merits in total, so we can go ahead and buy everything, I think. Oh, there's 3 of those. Oh shoot, I thought that was 2. Oops, there's 3. So we're not going to be able to buy all the regeneration potions right now, so I guess I have to participate in one of the other battle abysses. That was silly. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to do that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and record this video, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe, I guess, if you're still watching 30 or however many minutes into this video, for the fighting that's going to be happening later this season. We dropped into our KVK map here, and it's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be fighting against BDO LUNO, who is over here, and NF57, I think, who's like down here or something. Where is NF57? Have they built yet? I guess maybe they haven't built yet. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, well, see you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your day.